Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. A warm welcome to the seminar GBA Tripartite Roundtable, empowering GBA startups to expand into ASEAN with Hong Kong as a super connector and super value adder. Today, we will explore the expansion opportunity for Greater Bay Area startup in the booming ASEAN markets and discover how Hong Kong serves as a super connector and super value adder, offering professional service and strategic support to innovative GBA technology with ASEAN growing demand for digital transformation and economic growth. Joining us today are the 5 distinguished speakers. Let me introduce them one by one. They are Ms. Ponpicha, Senior Innovation Counsellor of National Innovation Agency, Ministry of Higher Education Science, Research and Innovation, Thailand. The second one is Ms. Intan Zalani, Consul in Trade of Malaysia in Hong Kong. Mr. Peter Mok, General Manager of Qianhai, Shenzhen-Hong Kong Youth Innovation and Entrepreneur Hub. Mr. Stephen Chen, Partner of Charles Russell Speechlys LLP. The last one is Professor Martin Zhu, CEO and co-founder of i2Cool. This conversation will be moderated by Mr. Wing Chu, Deputy Director of Research, HKTDC. Please give them a big hand. If you would like to ask any question to the panelists, please raise your question during the discussion section or post your question via Slido. Simply scan the QR code shown on the screen now, then choose B2 and submit your questions. Selected question will be addressed by Wing. Wing, I will pass the stage to you now.
Hey, thank you very much. Well, also welcome all of you to attend this, actually a roundtable meeting or square table meeting, right? Before the MC's introduction, we already have a very good discussion among ourselves. So, well, we just have an hour, so don't waste time and let us have our ASEAN guests to speak first. Well, Ms. Ponpicha, your turn, please.
Okay, I would be the one to speak first. Okay, hello everyone. I am Sai Ponpicha. I am the Senior Innovation Counsellor from National Innovation Agency from Thailand. Our agency is under the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation. It is the longest name of ministry in Thailand. Okay, we are the government agency. Okay, and next slide, please. Is any clicker? I'm not sure. Can it be the next slide? Maybe I. Okay, I will talk for. Okay, that's anyone. Okay. Okay, I will talk why team is solving the problem. Okay. Oh, okay, clicker. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, our NIA vision is to be the key agency to enhancing the national innovation system. Our mission is to strengthen Thailand innovation system aligned to the startup ecosystem, and we are aim to be create opportunity and increase access to the innovation infrastructure and also upgrade upskill, reskill innovation capability in Thailand. So we have to work with Thai entrepreneur directly. We aim to be the focal conductor to leading Thailand to be the innovation nation. And this is our package that we always say to everyone. We have easily we have 4G that we call Groom, Grant, Growth, and Global. The Groom is to provide the knowledge to do the innovative business. And the grant, we have funding, which is the granting to our entrepreneur. And we growth, we do many accelerators in several sectors to help our entrepreneur growth. And we also work with global partners to send them to the global market. And this slide is show you the web of the startup ecosystem in Thailand and also the role of the corporates that driving Thailand startup ecosystem. The first web, we call them, it is the telecom web because so many telephone company that the one who start to build the startup in Thailand. And the first web we call the banking web. We have like so many big bank in Thailand to do the fintech innovation and fintech development. And now we are in the third web, which is variety. There's so many corporates, the big corporates in Thailand. As you can see, we have like energy corporate, food and beverage, and and hospital to run and to do the innovative unit to build their own startup, to build their own startup and to build their own innovation. And this is the timeline of unicorn in Thailand. As you can see, most of them is the business service. We have like a fintech startup. We have a logistic and payment gateway platform, and the latest one is the e-commerce. It is the food delivery. It is Lineman Wong Nai. And this is the wrap up, the report snapshot from our TVCA, which is Thailand Venture Capital Association. It is the inside deal floor in the 2024. As you can see, we have like 53 deals. 55% is domestic, and 43% it is outbound. So Thailand, the VC in Thailand also invest in both of domestic and outbound. And the ticket barbell, it is the most deal. The most deal is less than 10 million baht. It is 30.2%, and between the 20 and 50 million baht is the 45%. So we have there are a value in the between 10 and 20 million baht, and most of the stage center of the gravity is the Series A, and the sector split. The popular one is the digital platform, and followed by fintech and agnostic, which is can be in every. It is not limited. It can be used in any industry. Okay. And this is the Thailand universe startup ecosystem. The inner circle, it is the key player that we have, like the government, the universities, the global partner, the association, the corporate, and the incubator. And the outer circle, we can divide our Thai startup in 14 or 15 sectors right now. This is more detailed, like in the red area, it is the startup that from our program that called Startup Thailand League, which is can set up their business after they join our program. And the blue area is our deep tech, which is can be the commercial life from research. Okay, and let's zoom to our government. First thing first, we start with the government agenda around 2016. We have like 10 ministries that got assigned from our government to run the startup, to run the innovative business. But now today, the core key players is like 4 agencies, which is us, NIA, National Innovation Agency, and TED Fund. It is the Technology and Innovation-Based Enterprise Development Fund that under the same ministry as NIA. And DEPA, it is the Digital Economy Promotion Agency, which focusing on the digital startup. And the BOI, it is the Thailand Board of Investment. This is, they invest in the late stage and also do the incentive for the international startup to set up their business in Thailand. And moreover, we have like the unit that for the sector focus, we have T-cell, they're focusing on the life science, and CAA focusing on the creative technology, and TCEP, MICE-Tech, and G-Staff focusing on the space technology. And this is the program that we do with HKTDC and Hong Kong partner. We run the program called Scale Up to Global 2025. We have the workshop and the Accelerate program that to build our Thai startup to going abroad. We bring our Thai startup in the health tech sector in the Asia Summit on Global Health, ASGH, and InnoX 2025. This is our startup, the Thai startup. As you can see, there are in the several sectors that can be the AI, the climate technology, the medical technology. And this is our service that we provide to global partner and startup. With the principle that we try to connect them to the investment and the new market. And we have like, we one of the agency that endorse your startup to set up the business in Thailand with the Smart Visa that we work with BOI. And we have like capital gain tax exemption to that incentive to VC that invest in Thai startup. And the last, this is the program that we will open this January to February. This is the program that we will help your startup, NAA, try to be the business developer that connect you to our local partner. And through the activity like OKR workshop, ecosystem tour, mentor tour, and we will end with a demo day, so you will meet the potential partner and VC. Yes. Okay, that's a brief for me. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ponpicha. Well, a lot of opportunities from the innovation project, green sector, or probably life science, in Thailand. But how about this from the Malaysian angle, Ms. Intan?
I think, okay. Thank you. Okay, I'll just start with my presentation. So basically, today I will talk on like how company from GBA can explore Malaysia and find partners there. So next. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is just an overview of Malaysia. So hello? Okay, so our population is only 34 million. You can use my, okay, sorry. So our population is 34 million and our GDP growth I think per capita is around 11,000, nearly 12,000 US dollar. So Malaysia is actually made up of 13 states and 3 federal territories. So in terms of business, we have quite a number of the startups which are located in Selangor, in Kuala Lumpur, and also in Johor. In fact, I think now a lot of the investment that are coming into Malaysia is specifically for data center. So for data center, I think Johor is the highest, they have the highest number of data centers in Malaysia. So in fact, our problem now is like, to supply in terms of like water to this data center. So it's a good problem to have, but yeah, in terms of investment, we are seeing a big increase for this. Okay, next. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Okay, just to share that Malaysia, in terms of overall, we are the ranked 24th for trading nation. In terms of export, we are ranked 25th, and for imports, we are ranked 24th. So just to share with you that Malaysia trade always drive Malaysian economy since we are a small country. So in terms of trade, back in the 70s, it used to be $3.07 billion, but last year it has grown until more than $600 billion. And hopefully this year we will see an increase, especially for our major sectors like electrical and electronics. Of course, we are also supporting our local companies to expand into overseas, and we also welcome investors into Malaysia as well. Okay, so why you should trade with Malaysia? So as you can see, we have pro-business government policies. I think for recently we host the ASEAN chairmanship. And as you can see from there, we have a lot of, quite a number of partners, quite a number of business deals also going on. So this is also supported by our well-developed trade support facilities, friendly business environment, good manufacturing practice, and others as well. So in terms of presence in iconic event, just to share that MATRADE, we are actually the National Trade Promotion Agency under the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry Malaysia. So we are covering all sectors, but this is some of the exhibition that we participate. For example, like the Malaysia International Halal Showcase is also one of our event. Even though it's a halal showcase, through this event, we are also promoting sectors like the Islamic fintech. So I think this is very important just to show that for the halal sector, it's not only food, but it also covers other sectors as well. Okay, so in terms of Malaysia digital, so of course driven by the rapid digital adoption, so we are seeing an increase of foreign investment, and ASEAN is one of the world's fastest growing technology markets. So the World Economic Forum actually project that the region digital economy will grow by $300 billion, from $300 billion to $1 trillion over the next decade. So in Malaysia, the government, we have launched the Malaysia Digital. This is the national strategic initiative to encourage and attract companies and also investors to Malaysia. So Malaysia, last year we are ranked 6 in terms of world talent ranking. So we also ranked 9 in the World Digital Competitiveness ranking, and also among the Cybersecurity Index we are ranked 1st. And in terms of Global Islamic FinTech Index, we are ranked 2nd. So some of the targeted sectors under Malaysia Digital is digital agriculture, services, digital trade, digital content, cities, digital health, digital tourism, Islamic digital economy, and also digital finance. So in Malaysia, we are not only promoting our startups, but we also welcome startups from other countries, especially from the GBA markets, to explore Malaysia and find partner in Malaysia as well. So in terms of setting up your tech business in Malaysia, so basically, what you need is to register your company with the Companies Commission of Malaysia. We actually have a digital investment office in Malaysia. So for example, if you are looking to partner with a Malaysian company, you can also go through with us, where we will link you up with the digital investment office under the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, MDEC, and also under MIDA, the Investment Development Authority. So once you secure your business location, you can also explore employment pass option in Malaysia. Of course, in terms of corporate bank account, and you can apply for the Malaysia digital status. So under this status, you can unlock like various tax incentive, grants, and also other benefits provided by the government as well. So in terms of digital investment, Malaysia actually, we have more than triple, record high in 2024, amounting to $40 billion. So because we have a lot of our Malaysia plan. So based on this plan, digital economy is one of our focus economy. So that's why now the government is heavily pushing into AI and also advanced computing. So investment in data center and cloud infrastructure accounted for 76.8% of total approved digital investment in 2024. So the top 5 highest FDI for digital investment is from Singapore, USA, China, Australia, and also India. We also have a special program. We call it the Malaysia Tech Entrepreneur Program. It's a specially designed pass to attract tech startup entrepreneur, experienced tech entrepreneur, and also investor to work or invest in Malaysia. So the targeted sectors under this is agri-tech, health tech, drone tech, clean tech, cybersecurity, smart mobility, AI, blockchain, and so forth. So among the benefits is where you can get a longer visa duration up to 5 years for the techpreneurs and dependents, as well as access to strategic partner as well. So with this opportunity, I would like to invite all of you here to consider Malaysia as your investment destination. So for any inquiry, you can always contact our office. I'm from the Consul trade office here in Hong Kong. So we can link you up with the relevant government agency where you can also get the benefits of investing in Malaysia. So I think from my side, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Intan. Go digital, I think, so do Hong Kong and the Chinese mainland. Well, for having said that, well, with such ASEAN opportunities, how would the startup in GBA look at this one? Well, I would like to invite first Peter from Qianhai of Shenzhen to give us some inspiration. Peter, please.
Okay, thank you. It's great my turn in the sense that I hear two speakers outline to us the importance or the potential of Thailand and Malaysia. I think I'm really happy about that. And then actually we're geared towards all our startups scale up to explore overseas market at the moment, because one of the major belief in Qianhai, especially in our Pethkaewkul e-hub, is that in terms of technology, there shouldn't be any national boundary. We should do well and do good for human beings. So in this picture, you can see our existing campus, which consists of 2 different phases. Phase 1 and 2, adding together, we have around 200,000 square meters of office and lab spaces. And then the first question I ask is, why Greater Bay Area? Okay, so in terms of science and technology, you can see that from these Global Innovation Index conducted by WIPO as well as Cornell University, you can see that the ranking of Shenzhen, Hong Kong, and Guangzhou, which is 3 principal cities in the GBA, is actually ranked number 1 in the world. So in terms of technology, especially deep tech, I think this is the future of the whole world. And in the top 15 in this league table, China actually got 5 different regions. So I think if you're in the innovation technology business, please let's work together. My next question is then, after why China, then why GBA? GBA is a quite massive piece of land when you compare to Hong Kong. In the southern tip of China, it consists of 9 leading cities in the southern China and Hong Kong and Macau. So from the innovation index, you can see that Guangzhou in the north, Hong Kong in the south, and right in the middle is Shenzhen. So this corridor is very important. Plus, adding all other different cities, they have their own specialities. Say, in terms of Guangzhou, we're supporting medtech companies. If they come to Qianhai, come to Shenzhen, then the next step I will actually work with Guangzhou, because 70% of the best hospital in the whole southern China is clustered in Guangzhou. So if you want to do, say, a clinical trial, it would be Guangzhou, and Qianhai, Shenzhen would be the hub. Okay. If you're in a material science, then I will refer you to Dongguan, where we house one of the world's 4 spallation neutron sources. There's only 4 in the world, 1 in Asia. It's Dongguan, only 30 minutes drive from Shenzhen. So most of the best universities in Hong Kong and China is already clustered around in Dongguan. So we get the best technology. And in terms of manufacturing, Dongguan and Shenzhen, I think, are the best in the world. I have to say that. The quality, the supply chain, as well as the cost effectiveness, I think is unparalleled. So we're working with a lot of different global partners. When they come to China, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, there's a China market, a very big market. I tell you, it's not easy, it's very competitive. But if you look at China, look at Shenzhen, Greater Bay Area, as your center of production, as your center of global talent, that would make a lot of sense. In Hong Kong, you get a recruitment advertisement. To find some PhD, you may get 10 CVs, maximum 20, if you are fortunate. If you do the same thing in the Greater Bay Area, you may get 1,000. So that is the differences. So I think the Greater Bay Area is very important. And in a sense, it's not a small market, 86, 87 million population. And in terms of economic growth, it's close to $2 trillion GDP. And the highest per capita GDP is not Hong Kong. Hong Kong is number 2. The first one is the Lanshan district of Qianhai. So I mean, this is a very affluent and very complicated, very extensive city with a lot of different combination in the industries. And then I want to focus on a few major strong points of complementary value in Qianhai. The first was income tax. So we're always now selling the concept of twin cities. So the foreign companies, if they talk to me, then I will invite them to land in Hong Kong and then go to Qianhai. And through this exercise, they may be able to enjoy a tax regime of Hong Kong. So the maximum corporate tax rate is 15% in Hong Kong. So you can enjoy it in Qianhai and throughout the whole China. So the corporate tax rate, standard rate in China is 25. If you do better, 30. So that will be very important. The other thing is the legal services. A lot of people, when they go to a new country, and emerging countries, they want to do some business. The first thing they worry about is the IP protection. The second thing is the rule of law. I mean, China is different. As an overseas company, when you work with others, you can elect to use the Hong Kong or other common jurisdiction as your choice of law under civil law systems. That was very interesting. So I think that's something that's important. And in between your IPO, you can either list in Shenzhen, NASDAQ, or even Hong Kong. But in between that, we have a private equity exchange where you can list your private offering in this exchange. And you're not for sale, and the share is not for sale to the general public, but for professional investors. So I only have 30 seconds, but I thought I still want to cover a little bit. For our 2 campuses, as I mentioned before, you're able to enjoy $1 rental, which is actually rent-free for 3 years' time. After the 3 years, if you're good enough, then you can stay in Qianhai in a government office, which is very nice, not bad, or in our manufacturing center in Bao'an. And you can enjoy a discount up to 70%. Depends on how good you are during the incubation period. So what we offer in terms of technology application scenario, low altitude economy, computing facilities, and also in terms of manufacturing. We're working with 3 partners at this moment. So all this small batch manufacturing, all this whatever CNC machine is in-house. It's very cheap. Okay, in terms of technology, actually we support all the technologies, but these are the 5 key areas that we're focusing on, especially AI. Almost everything is now applied to AI. So I think my next presentation, I won't mention AI anymore. This is what I offer, $1 for 3 years, and we are also running our investment fund, $500 million. Why? So small fund, because it's only seed fund. Next year, I hope that we can have a growth fund. Why? Again, only in growth stage, because in both Shenzhen and Hong Kong, Shenzhen is a domestic China financial market. Hong Kong is a global financial market. After B round, actually we don't need any effort. There's too many people there. So we're focusing on B round, so mainly on A and pre-A round. So that's very important. Apart from all these benefits, etc., what we're focusing mainly is on building an ecosystem, including investors, university, research institute, big corporates, etc., because only the ecosystem can help companies and not just a single science park. So there we are. So in 2026, we'll start to roll out our program globally. We choose 3 major areas, including Europe, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia. And next year, the APEC Summit will be hosted in Qianhai, Shenzhen. So I actually discuss some of your consul generals. Next year, let's do something together with Southeast Asia. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Right. Well, now I would like to turn to our lawyer. Stephen, well, in view of such collaboration opportunities between Greater Bay Area and Malaysia, Thailand, and even other ASEAN countries, well, any advice you can share with us when companies are trying to tap such opportunities?
Yeah, thanks very much for that. I am indeed a Hong Kong lawyer, although my firm is a British UK firm with about 150 years of history. And so we set up in Hong Kong quite a few years ago, essentially to capture a lot of our clients. And one of the specialties of our firm is we act for a lot of high net worth individuals, a lot of them who have gotten extremely wealthy through their business endeavors. And now they're setting up family offices in various jurisdictions to make investments into Hong Kong, the Greater Bay Area, into Malaysia, into Thailand. And so we come from a different perspective that is not just focused on Hong Kong, because a lot of our clientele is actually overseas. Okay, and so we've seen for many years now clients who come through Hong Kong to invest into different regions in ASEAN, including mainland China. This has happened for many years already. And so I don't need to talk too much about the stability of Hong Kong in terms of the legal structure, the common law system, and the very close ties that Hong Kong obviously has with the mainland, which provides a lot of legal advantages in terms of, for example, enforcement of judgments as between Hong Kong and China. But what we're seeing more of is, of course, the GBA cluster that we've just seen the statistics of, which are actually supported by what we see in Hong Kong as well. Many of the innovators and the founders are looking to go abroad, and ASEAN is really the logical destination for a lot of these businesses. And so as lawyers, and I should clarify that I'm a particular type of lawyer. I'm a litigator, which means I see matters when things go horribly, horribly bad. And so what I'm able to then do is tell all the people how to avoid all of those very bad situations. And I think in Hong Kong, when we do see entrepreneurs get to a certain size, they would like to get funding. It is through a Hong Kong channel, because it is one that has been long recognized as worthy of trust and worthy of taking a risk, okay? But amongst all of those types of risks and pitfalls and so forth, I can give a long list of situations and compliance issues, tax issues, legal issues that are more external. But for today, I think I want to emphasize on one which is manageable for startups itself on an internal basis. And this is something applicable. Unless you are a sole founder, if you have fellow partners and you have co-founders, what we have seen is if you do not get your house in order from day one, you're headed into trouble when coming down the line, you're looking to get investments and you're growing, but the different co-founders have different priorities and different visions as to how the business should be run. There are time commitments. A lot of the very young founders, they may still be at university or they have other jobs, right? And so the time commitment for a lot of these founders is not always equal, okay? But the situation we see is you have two founders who are both directors of a Hong Kong company, for example, okay? One of them might hold 51% shares and the other one holds 49% shares. But if there is any dispute between them and they do not have any sort of agreement between them, that makes things incredibly difficult to deal with, okay? And you can spend many, many years in court arguing about these things because you don't have the basic shareholders agreement. And so for all founders, you don't need to actually go to a lawyer for any of this stuff. You could just have a full and frank discussion between your fellow founders about what you expect from each other, okay? And also what would happen if one of you did not meet those particular standards. Does one of them step back? Does one of them get removed as a director? These are all things that should be considered. And I think it's particularly important, I think Martin to my right would have some experience in this during funding rounds. People who invest in your business will be asking about you and whether you have all of these documentations in place. So I think one of the things that, at least in Hong Kong, we do very well is to get things documented and to make things legal and workable amongst the practitioners.
Thanks a lot. Well, so before you proceed, it's better to arrange or structure well your deals, well, to avoid any troubles, well. Well, after having said that, well, I would like to invite also our Professor Zhu, who is actually CEO of a startup, well, to share with us his insight about how he will look at the things from the startup perspective in particular. Please, Professor.
Yeah, thank you very much. And today we're very happy that we get to load our many resources from Hong Kong to connect Thailand and Malaysia. Yeah, that's quite relevant to us because we are doing cooling materials for building energy saving. And in the hot countries, I think definitely we can combine with your industry to improve the efficiency. So talk a little bit more about us. We are from i2Cool, a company spin off from City University of Hong Kong. So in the first year, we did our lab research, the cooling materials that can be applied to buildings and outdoor equipment for energy saving. Yeah, and I co-founded the company with my PhD supervisor, Professor Irene Cho, as you see here. So in the first year, I just graduated from my PhD degree there, and then we have only 2 persons, just like the situation our lawyer mentioned, the 2 founders at the beginning, but we have a very, well-established structure. Then we grow, and we have completed 4 rounds of fundraising in Hong Kong, and now we have 100 people based in Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Qianhai. The owner of our buildings in Qianhai is here. Yeah, and then we have a big team there to support the logistic and back office management. And then we also have a factory in Guangzhou for manufacturing. And now we have actually applied the technology not just in Hong Kong and Chinese mainland, but also to the Middle East, to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, because they're hot, and then they have a lot of buildings that are consuming a large amount of energy for cooling. And also some countries in ASEAN, like Singapore and Malaysia and Indonesia. So I think last year we have around 1/3 of the revenue comes from the Middle East. And for example, the Dubai Mall and the Emirates Palace in Abu Dhabi also apply with our technology for energy saving. Like in Hong Kong, last year we just also applied to Hong Kong Coliseum, the concert venue in Hong Kong. So recently, I think there was a superstar in Hong Kong Coliseum performing, also for many different sport activities there. Then we can apply to the whole rooftop, and then we can provide like 1 to 3 years of the payback for the building's owner. Like say they save the energy, then they can use the energy saved amount of the money to cover the cost of material and applications. So in the future, I think we will combine with more different material. For example, the fiber for textile, for the personal wearing for cooling, and also some other material like ceramic for the pavement that we can apply to the city scale application to mitigate the heat island effect. And then I think the Middle East and the ASEAN and also South America and North Africa will be our next destination to provide the technology that we invented in Hong Kong and combine with the logistic and supply chain in the GBA area to scale up, and then we can provide the solutions to the global market for mitigating the global warming impact and to save the energy and provide our solution for carbon neutrality for everyone.
Thank you, Professor. Wow, very inspiration from the startup perspective.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we have a startup like this one. Well, I would like to ask our 2 ladies, well, to your countries, which kind of startup, well, or which sectors you think, well, when a GBA start want to come to your countries, which sector you think, or 1 or 2, they could add more value to such a startup business? Well, or, please.
I think the rest sector or the popular, actually in I would say like the overall in Thailand first. I think the climate sector and the green sector we are now in this sector because the global warming, right? So I think if you come to Thailand, I think you have to do like the right to find the right partner and the local business, and to let them know what benefit for them, like in the in the term of the revenue, the energy management. I think it is the best way to connect because we have like so many agency, which is the government and corporate to this area. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And another sector is the B2C, the consumer product is the best thing in our country right now. This is the graph is raising like this, yeah, for the B2C consumer product, yeah.
Thank you. Maybe e-commerce could be also one of the options, right?
Yeah, because Thai people love online shopping. We also have like high-speed internet, so we love to follow the influencer on the internet, yeah.
How about Intan?
I think for Malaysia, the sectors, the opportunities would be in sectors like fintech and also digital payments. I think for digital payment, we can see now the trends in Malaysia is some of the outlets, they don't accept cash anymore. And in Malaysia, we also have quite a number of e-wallet provider. Unlike here where you have only your Octopus. But in Malaysia, we have quite a number of e-wallet provider. Even the banks also, sometimes you can just scan and pay using the QR code. So I think that's one of the opportunity for startups to explore on how, I don't know, to integrate or how to improvise this. Because if there's too many e-wallet also can be quite a problem for the consumers as well. And then I think aside from that, also opportunity for the green tech and renewable energy because that is also a part of the Malaysian government focus now. In fact, for companies focusing on this, maybe they can also avail the tax incentive under the government. So renewable energy in Malaysia actually, of course, is a hot climate. So, and we are more focusing on the solar energy now. So a lot of the investors, a lot of the companies are focusing on the solar energy. Like for example, for other energy more on hydro. Wind not so much because our wind is not that strong. We don't really have much, like typhoon or, so we are not really focusing on that. But also like sectors like biomass because of the like in palm oil. So a lot of opportunities for biomass related to that.
Oh, thanks. I especially love the e-payment, right? As a tourist to Malaysia or Thailand, well, I can also, as a Hong Konger, I can pay the Uber or taxi by some e-means, right? Very convenient today. Well, I understand, Peter, China already have an MOU with Thailand or probably later on with Malaysia as well. Well, can we ride on this one?
I think it's important, as I mentioned before, Southeast Asia is one of my key markets next year. And also you can see that, I mean, the upcoming APEC summit is going to held in Shenzhen next year. So I think this year we should, I mean, it's a very good year for us to work together. And one thing, why Thailand actually, or Malaysia first. 10 years ago when I support my first unicorn company in China, they come to Shenzhen and then get a prototype sort of operations for 1 year, and then within 2 years' time, the second and third year, they already roll the whole China become a market leader. And then they take exactly the same sort of operation to Southeast Asia, that based on Singapore, and try to replicate. And they discover that the whole structure is different. The business practices, the national boundaries, the language differences, as well as the religious differences. So in Southeast Asia, the market relatively would be a bit more scattered. You would got to work with individual partners one by one. So if you want to choose partners, what I'm trying to do is to find the more active partners that they are on a growth or on a growing size, like investors, right? We pick the companies who start to grow, not the very mature markets. So that's why I think I've been working with Thailand for the past 6 or 7 years' time. And I discovered that, on the government sector, they start to put a lot of resources in terms of education, technology development, the whole range of science parks, etc. But on the other hand, there's one very special area that observes that is the corporate innovation. It's very strong in Thailand, very, very strong compared globally. So my assumption is that the startup will be still a bit lacking behind, and that's where we try to fill the gap. This is point number one. And just right next to it is Malaysia, so also very important. As you rightly point out that we go to Middle East because it's hot, because they have money, and because they don't have technology at this moment, so we try to fill that. But another point is that it's basically a halal economy. And in Southeast Asia, at least we can fly only 3 hours to Malaysia, for example. The proximity, the Chinese population there, the business practices, the rule of law is basically a common law system, right? They're so familiar to us. So, Malaysia is also important. Instead of going to another hub in Southeast Asia, we need to get regional partners that are on the start to flying up. The emerging stage, the accelerating stage is very important for me to pick a few very important countries. Of course, there are some more mature markets like Japan. They're doing quite well, especially in corporate innovations. But if you want to pick the rising star, then I would bet a few countries in Southeast Asia, including Malaysia and Thailand. So that's why I happened to sign my first MOU with Thailand. Actually, my first one before Thailand is with Vietnam. Vietnam is another lead. They don't have a very strong corporate innovation sort of culture. They don't have a very strong government oriented in terms of innovation technology yet. It's going up. But the special thing is that the population is very young, very energetic. The investment appetite of early stage investment is very aggressive. So I think each market, they have their own speciality. And as a more mature market from GBA, especially Hong Kong and Shenzhen, we would like to see the complementary values. That is the outgoing part. We bring Chinese companies to Southeast Asia. On the other hand, if you're doing some hardware manufacturing, if you're in a biotech, very deep tech, please do come to China through Qianhai and Hong Kong together. So that's our picture.
Well, a lot of things actually. But in a word, after this meeting, right, we can come to you to look for partner, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, very good. Well, also, Stephen addressed us, there's a lot of issues that we need to deal with, and there's a cross-jurisdiction things. Actually, to me, a very, very, very good insight. But can you give us some example to illustrate this more?
Yeah, I think Peter just raised a very good point. We had a client based in Hong Kong who was investing in Vietnam. And one of the very interesting things that occurred was that under their agreement with their joint venture partner in Vietnam, they opted for arbitration, okay? And of course, the JV partner in Vietnam wanted to use the local Vietnamese International Arbitration Center. Of course, Hong Kong's International Arbitration Center has had a very prominent figure in the arbitration world for many years and is well respected. But out of respect for the local JV partner, the client actually agreed to using the VIAC, as they call it, the Vietnamese International Arbitration Center. And if you did not go through one of these processes, you would not know what the difference might be in different jurisdictions. Now, arbitration may be similar in different places, but unfortunately, my client got into a bit of a squabble with the JV partner, and they used the VIAC service. And it was only after they went through that process and tried to enforce that arbitral award in Vietnam that they found some difficulty, because if they had come to us much earlier, we would have been able to tell them that the Vietnamese court do not usually enforce their own arbitral awards. They only enforce it about 50% of the time. So if you have a dispute resolution mechanism that only works domestically 50% of the time, that's not a very good idea, okay? And so in future, of course, if you are dealing with that type of jurisdiction, different jurisdictions, courts have different attitudes towards either using their own domestic process or arbitral processes. And of course, many GBA founders using a Hong Kong company or conduit have now found that utilizing the Hong Kong arbitral system is a lot more safer and provides an avenue for enforcement as well. Having said that, most of the ASEAN countries are signatories to the New York Convention, including Malaysia and Thailand as well. And so you should, in theory, be able to enforce all sorts of arbitral awards in different jurisdictions. But that is one sort of example where things did not go exactly to plan, and it required a little bit more forward planning in terms of, and also understanding in terms of local practices.
Thank you. I think it's very practical advice. Well, very important. Well, Professor, apart from the legal service or partnership, right?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to ask you one question. Why do you start your startup business? Why your Hong Kong or GBA network?
Yeah, I think this is a very good question. When I was about to graduate from a PhD degree, I think I was quite similar to most of the researchers in the university that, when I graduate, I should stay in the lab, stay in the university to continue the research and publish a lot of high-impact papers and be a professor in the future. I mean, fully focused on education and research. Yeah, but at that moment, I think I was quite lucky because at that time, CTU, Hong Kong, my university, they just launched the Hong Kong Tech 300 program. That was an entrepreneur program to encourage the students and supervisors to found a company together to commercialize their project in the lab. Then at that moment, I was thinking if I can really make a product instead of just publish a paper, then maybe I can, deliver real impact to the society. So at that moment, I decided to jump out of the comfort zone and start a business in Hong Kong because we were a team from Hong Kong at the very beginning initially. And after that, we actually faced a lot of difficulties and challenges. And one of the most important one would be the scaling up. I think in Hong Kong, we are still facing the problem of the landfill and also the space for manufacturing. So at that moment, connected by Hong Kong Science Technology Park and also CTU Hong Kong and Hong Kong TDC, we got a lot of partners all over the world. And most of them are actually from the Greater Bay Area. Other cities in GBA, like Guangzhou and Shenzhen, etc., etc. So at that time, we got to connect with a factory in Guangzhou so that we started our first batch of the production in Guangzhou. Then we can produce the technology, not just in a baker, but in a factory, so that we can provide the material in a larger scale to apply to more different locations. So now at the moment, we have applied to more than 500 projects all over the world. And then we can keep scaling up and then to combine the technology with more different material to extend the application scope. So this is why I think Hong Kong and the GBA is a very good hub. We have good research. In Hong Kong, we have 8 universities and 5 of them, they're ranking top 100 in the world. So we have a lot of good fundamental research. However, Hong Kong are still, lacking of a lot of space and landfill for production. However, Hong Kong is a part of GBA. We have a very strong supply chain in other cities of GBA. That's why we can actually combine the good research in Hong Kong and also the good facilities for manufacturing in other cities. Then we can scale up.
Thanks. A lot of story behind indeed. Well, very interesting. Well, we still have a few minutes left. I would like to ask the floor whether you have any questions for our guests. You may just raise your hand and we can give you the microphone. Well, There we have a lady there.
Can I speak in Chinese?
No problem. Well, we can translate it in English.
我想问 Peter，如果那个香港跟内地的大学生，尤其是一些非常有热情的大学生，他们想要在2到3年内，将一家人工智能或者是 AI 或者是机器人的公司快速上市的话，您有什么建议呢？
A question for Peter about a university student who want to engage in AI business. Peter, please.
First of all, I don't know why the company want to use IPO as the ultimate goal. When you found a business, you should have your own mission and vision. I repeat once again, in terms of technology, you're going to do well, do good to the whole world. It's not just an IPO, number one. Second, you got to find investors. Their preferred exit venue may not be an IPO. It could be a trade sale, especially for AI. There's so many AI companies, just across the border, just in Hong Kong. So I think very first thing for these young people, my suggestion is that get the right mandate, your objective, and your mission. Size up the team. Ensure that you have a good team combination of scientists, engineers, lawyers, accountants. You get a team from different backgrounds, so that that is very important. The success is the people, is the team, not the technology. Technology can change. There's a competition, market condition can change. Everything can change. So the first thing is to get assemble a very good team. Whether you can get IPO in 3 years depends on what type of investor you get. Sometimes after you get an IPO, there's no transaction. It's not liquidate. If your company is not well enough, that it doesn't make any sense. So I think the question already, you need to think about it first. So that's my question. That's my answer.
Thanks. Think ahead first. Right. Any questions? Any more? No more. And although the time limit, I would like to invite every guest to give us a final conclusion. 30 seconds each. Maybe Professor first, right?
Yeah, I think to conclude, I think Hong Kong is a very good hub to connect the resources all over the world. Like you see, we can meet Thailand and Malaysia today, representative here. So I encourage everyone, if you consider going overseas, I think Hong Kong is a very good place for you to get the connections from all over the world.
Thank you. Stephen?
Yeah, I think Hong Kong obviously is a very wonderful place to be connected on a worldwide basis. Lawyers in Hong Kong, though, are incredibly expensive, and so I would caution and also advise that if you are going to be using lawyers in Hong Kong, rather than utilizing us on a one-off for one project basis, that you form more of a partnership with your chosen lawyer, because we can open a lot of doors in a lot of different places for you, okay? And that requires a much longer relationship than ad hoc single projects. Thank you.
Representing GBA today, I truly, personally, and professionally believe that GBA is the best tech center in the whole world in the coming decade. So I encourage partners from different parts of the world to really work with us. And our principle is the complementary values that we can offer on the table. And I also perfectly agree that we got best lawyers in Hong Kong. They speak very good Queen's English. So language is very important skill for all lawyers. And get things straight right at the first moment when you start a company is very important. Welcome to GBA. Thank you.
I think for Malaysia, we welcome, of course, investors, startups from Hong Kong and also GBA to explore Malaysia and consider Malaysia as your investment destination. And I believe now with the government focus on the digital economy, there should be a slice of pie for everyone, the Malaysian startup and also the startup from GBA. Yeah, if anything, can contact our office. Thank you.
For me, as the Thailand government officer, I think Thailand government is open for the international startup, international investor to come to Thailand. And I think from my aspect, I think the collaboration program like we do with HKTDC is the first step that we use them to be the model to apply to our global program. So we hope to do like a lot more collaboration together between Thailand and GBA startup and Hong Kong. Okay, for me, that's it. And thank you for having me today. Yeah.
Thank you very much for all of your valuable insights and discussions. Well, because of time limit, let's end the discussion here, and I'll let to pass the time back to our MC. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for all your insightful sharing. And I'm sure our audience are having a fruitful discussion today too.